No reason for anyone from a township to go to a mayor's conference. A mayor's conference is a mayor's conference for mayors.
I was saying, no, he's not employed by us. So you have got just this gyration.
A controversial figure embroiled in a battle with the Board of Trustees that has captured the community's attention. While some residents rally behind her, seeing her as a champion for their interests, others criticize her for her extravagant lifestyle and questionable decisions. As legal issues mount and tensions escalate, the drama intensifies. This isn't just a story about local in turn. Dolton residents are left wondering, what will happen next? Buckle up because we're diving deep into the chaotic world of Tiffany Henyard and the drama that has turned small-town politics on its head.
Is there a motion to terminate Keith Freeman?
Picture this. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton, a small Chicago suburb with around 20,000 residents, is once again at the center of a brewing drama in this tight-knit community. At a recent board meeting, she's making headlines, but not for the right reasons. The main topic? The budget. If you think passing a budget is simple and straightforward, think again. Henyard strides into the meeting exuding her usual confidence, some might even say arrogance, and attempts to bulldoze her way through the process. She's convinced that the budget needs to be approved immediately, like right now, and she's not interested in any delays. But here's the catch. The Board of Trustees is not on the same page. They insist on holding a proper finance meeting with residents to review the budget before giving it the green light. Seems reasonable, right? Apparently, Henyard doesn't think so, and tensions are running high as she clashes with the trustees over this critical issue. The stage is set for a showdown in Dolton, and the community is watching closely.
A legal appointment, that's what the trustees I talked to are calling this. They say the news took them by surprise, and now they're talking to legal counsel to figure out their next steps.
Now the trustees are consulting with legal counsel to figure out their next steps. Setting the scene, Henyard comes out swinging, trying to pressure them into passing the budget without any further reviews. She's stern and assertive, practically demanding that they approve it on the spot. According to her, she's done everything the trustees asked, made the necessary adjustments, held discussions, and now it's time to move forward. But the trustees aren't buying it. They're confused, frustrated, and honestly a little fed up. Take trustee Tammy Brown, for instance. As she sits through Henyard's insistence, skepticism is written all over her face. Like her fellow trustees, Brown wants transparency. She believes that the residents of Dolton, those who will be directly impacted by this budget, deserve a chance to weigh in. Yet, in classic Henyard fashion, she dismisses their concerns and keeps pushing forward. She remains adamant that they need to pass the budget immediately, showing little regard for the community's need for input. The clash of priorities is palpable, setting the stage for a showdown that could redefine the future of Dolton's governance. Next voic. Things heat up as Henyard continues to push her agenda. The trustees start to push back, and trustee Jason House, in particular, isn't buying her claims that everything is ready to go. He questions her assertions about the budget adjustments, demanding to see the details that support her rush to pass it. House emphasizes the need for transparency and insists that the residents of Dolton deserve a thorough review before any decisions are made. The tension in the room escalates as Henyard tries to maintain her stance, but the trustees are determined to stand their ground. With frustrations mounting on both sides, it becomes clear that this confrontation is just the beginning of a larger battle over the future of the budget and the community's trust in its leadership. Trustee Brittany Norwood boldly calls Henyard out for her lack of transparency. She challenges her, saying, "How about you be a good leader and bring proposals to the forefront so everyone, residents and others, know how the money is being spent?" Ouch! But Henyard doesn't back down. Instead, she digs in even deeper. The tension escalates as she lectures the trustees, insisting, "You all forget I'm the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. You haven't learned that yet." It's wild to see her not just pushing for budget approval, but also trying to assert her dominance over the entire board. The trustees are clearly growing more frustrated. Among their concerns is a one-day purchase of over $40,000 from Amazon, raising eyebrows about spending priorities. Henyard's dual role as the mayor of Dolton and supervisor of Thornton Township complicates matters further. But right now, the budget meeting reveals significant cracks in her leadership style. The longer the meeting drags on, the more it becomes apparent that this isn't just about the budget, it's a battle for control. While Henry tries to steamroll the board, the trustees stand firm, demanding transparency, accountability, and a proper review process. They're determined to ensure the residents understand exactly how their money is being spent, refusing to be rushed into a decision.
And I mean, unfortunately, we knew it was going to be a little messy, but it's just something we felt important that had to be done, that should be done. So, but like I said, you have just some accountability.
Trustee Brittany Norwood confronted Mayor Tiffany Henyard directly, calling out her lack of transparency. How about you be a good leader and bring proposals to the forefront so everyone knows how the money is being spent? She asserted, her frustration evident. Yet Henry remained defiant, insisting on passing the budget immediately. The tension in the room was palpable, with the trustees clearly exasperated by Henry's refusal to allow for a proper review process. This ongoing power struggle is far from new. It has been a hallmark of Henry's tenure since she took office. Over the months, her controversial leadership style has only exacerbated the frustrations within the board and among the community. Multiple lawsuits have been filed against her, with allegations ranging from forging checks to withholding financial records. Each new development has contributed to the deteriorating situation, and residents are growing increasingly concerned about how their tax dollars are being managed. Reports have surfaced detailing how Henry allegedly used taxpayer money for extravagant purchases, first-class flights, luxury hotels, and even billboards featuring her own image. One particularly shocking claim suggests she spent a staggering $43,000 on Amazon in a single day. This level of spending has not only raised eyebrows but also fueled a growing sense of anger among Dolton residents. As the budget debate heated up, some community members began to refer to Henry as the Dolton dictator, alleging that she retaliates against those who oppose her. Local business owner Lawrence Gardner likened her tactics to those of a mob boss, asking, "What is she, Nino Brown?" This comparison speaks volumes about how residents perceive her leadership style as increasingly authoritarian and disconnected from the needs of the community. The scrutiny surrounding Henry has intensified with the involvement of the FBI, which is now investigating her spending practices. With multiple lawsuits piling up, it's clear that this saga is far from over. The stakes are high, and the implications for the community are significant. Residents are watching closely, and their responses will be critical in the upcoming election as the drama unfolds. Reactions from the community are mixed. Some supporters view Henry as a strong leader who is unfairly targeted, while others are fed up with what they see as irresponsible governance. One resident described Henry as a filibuster, noting how she dominates discussions and wears people down until they concede. This tactic has become increasingly apparent in board meetings, where her insistence on rushing decisions has left many trustees frustrated. At a recent public meeting, Henry took a bold stand, accusing her critics of attacking her because she's a black woman in power. "You all should be ashamed of yourselves for attacking a black woman in leadership," she stated. This remark sparked further controversy, with some praising her for standing up against perceived racism, while others criticized her for using her identity as a shield against legitimate scrutiny.
Who would make a one-day purchase of over $40,000 to Amazon? And the main thing is, what is?
This moment highlights the complex dynamics at play in Dolton. While some residents empathize with Henry's struggle as a woman of color in a position of power, others argue that her actions must be held accountable regardless of her race or gender. This tension is indicative of a broader conversation about leadership, accountability, and representation within the community. As the board meetings continue, it's evident that the stakes are high for both Henry and the trustees. They are not just grappling with budgetary concerns, they are engaged in a larger battle over control and governance. Henry's approach of steamrolling the board into compliance contrasts sharply with the trustees' demand for transparency, accountability, and a proper review process. They insist that the residents deserve to understand exactly how their money is being spent, and they are unwilling to be rushed into a decision without thorough consideration. With the financial investigations ongoing and public sentiment shifting, the question remains, can Henry hold on her position amidst mounting pressure? Or will the combination of legal challenges and community pushback finally force her out of office? The residents of Dolton are clearly watching this unfolding drama closely, and their responses will be crucial in the next election. Public opinion seems to be shifting, with more residents voicing their frustrations. Some have taken to social media to express their views, arguing that it's time for new leadership in Dolton. They are calling for a government that prioritizes community needs and operates transparently, as opposed to one that appears to be mired in controversy and self-interest. As the upcoming election approaches, the questions linger. Will Henry be re-elected, or will the residents demand a change? Will her spending habits catch up with her, leading to real consequences for her leadership? The pressure is mounting, and the community's response to this ongoing saga will ultimately shape the future of Dolton. This situation serves as a reminder of the importance of accountability in local government. The residents of Dolton deserve to know how their tax dollars are being spent and to have a say in the decision-making processes that affect their lives. The current crisis has opened up vital discussions about governance, leadership, and the need for greater transparency. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the stakes are high for Henry, the trustees, and the residents of Dolton. The community's call for change is becoming louder, and the outcome of this saga may well determine the future of local governance in the area. So what's next for Dolton? The answers are still unclear, but the intensity of the ongoing drama suggests that changes may be on the horizon. The residents have made their voices heard, and as they continue to engage in this critical dialogue, it will be essential to monitor how the situation develops. Ultimately, the future of Dolton hangs in the balance, and whether Tiffany Henyard can navigate these challenges remains to be seen. Will she adapt to the mounting pressure and find a way to reconcile her leadership style with the community's demands? Or will the combination of legal woes and public discontent lead to her downfall? The community is eager for answers, and only time will tell how this unfolding drama will play out. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe Henry will be re-elected, or is it time for new leadership in Dolton? How do you feel about her spending habits and the implications for the community? Join the conversation in the comments. This story is just beginning.